PSG is your 2025-2026 UEFA Champions League champion. It is a back-to-back for Luis Enrique and his boys. For the first time, this Champions League, since they changed the format, only PSG had won them. They won it last year, they won it this year by destroying Premier League team. Because last year, they beat everybody. They beat City, Liverpool, Aston Villa, Arsenal. This year, they did the same. They beat Liverpool. Well, they didn't beat Newcastle. And they beat Arsenal in the final. So, this game, I think Arsenal decided to lose the game. Because these two teams came in with ambition, with different ambition. Because Arsenal came in just to limit how PSG play. They didn't come with game plan. And PSG came in to just say, okay, we're going to play our football. We're going to play the way we want. And then nobody want to stop us. Because even Bayern failed to stop us. What Arsenal do with that, they just come in, they sat down. Because the 6 minutes in the game, Kai Havertz gave them the lead. Kai Havertz from Chelsea to Arsenal. I think he's going to break the scores because he's the one who scored the goal for Chelsea Football Club in 2021 against Manchester City. So, the pride of London will remain Chelsea because we are the only one with the Champions League trophy. And Chelsea, Aston Villa, Tottenham, everyone won a European League and West Ham except for Arsenal. Yo, you guys need to learn how to win a trophy, you know. If you go to visit in Stamford Bridge, we show you how Premier League look like, you know. So, overall, tonight was the first time PSG starting lineup looked like the one they had last year in the final against Inter. Only the goalie was missing because Donnarumma went to City. So that lineup was the lineup that won them the Champions League last year. And Arsenal came in. They were missing Timber or like Ben White, but they came in with the team they have, right? Arsenal starting lineup, they had Mosquera at the right back. The first half, 6 minutes in when they score, Arsenal decided to not play anymore. They just decided to waste time. And the referee changed that in the second half. First minute in the second half, he gave yellow card to Mosquera or like, who's the other one? Is it Mosquera or the left back? Yeah. It was Mosquera get the first yellow card in the first minute of the second half. That changed the dynamic of the game because now everyone had to play for the ball. You have to play. Wasting time, taking 15 seconds, 30 seconds before throwing a ball, taking like 50 seconds before like clearing the ball by Raya. It was ridiculous to watch. Arsenal score a goal, they decide to just say, okay, we're going to just defend. We are not doing anything. Arteta with his archaic football, he won him a Premier League. Let's give them that. They won a Premier League. But the Champions League, it doesn't work with a better team. Because we already knew the bracket, how the bracket would go. Everyone agreed whoever passed in the PSG bracket would win the Champions League. And that's what happened. That is what happened. So we're going to dive into the analysis to talk about every single minute of the game. And we're going to see what kind of decision or what tactic did both coaches use. Because the lineup overall, PSG, like I said, they start with 10 players that started last year. Only the goalie changed, which is Matveev Sevanov from Russia. And then you have Ashraf Hakimi. There was doubt if you're going to start or not. And of course, Marquinhos and William Pacho and Mendes. Those were the back four last year. And you have the midfield, the same trio, Vitinha, Neves, and Fabian Ruiz didn't have a good game today. But hey, it is what it is. He was there. And of course, you have Doué, Dembele, and Kvaratskhelia. Arsenal almost succeeded in stopping Kvaratskhelia today. Because that defensive line is archaic, man. Like, you should send them like to 2013-14 when Atletico was playing like this. It was so ugly to watch. It wasn't fun to watch the way Arsenal was playing. They were just kicking the ball. This is a player. They are international player. They can hold the ball. Like the tactic Arteta decided to choose, he eliminated his own player from the game. Saka was going back to back, like defending against Mendes. He wasn't doing any attacking. Like each time Kvaratskhelia was on the ball, it was like Saka and his right back on him. They doubled him. And it's the same way against Trossard and Henkape against Doué. So he eliminated his own winger. Because they were defenders. They were defending the whole game. So if they got the ball, it was crazy. They couldn't do anything with the ball. So Arsenal lineup was David Raya, the best goalie of the season. Hand down. He's the one. It's because of him we watched an extra time. Right? William Saliba, he had a fantastic game. And Gabriel, sorry for him. He had a really great game. But he's the one who missed the last penalty for Arsenal. But yeah, you have Henkape and Mosquera. It's not their best right back and left back, but hey, that's what they had today. And of course, you have Luis Kelly and Declan Rice. Luis Kelly was clueless in that game because PSG bossed the midfield. Luis Kelly, Declan Rice was tackling every time. They were just on the ground, sweeping. So, bro, play the ball, bro. And of course, you have Martin Odegaard at number 10, and you have Trossard and Bukayo Saka. Kai Havertz are starting as the linemen. So the game overall, when you saw it, Arsenal won't be playing the game, I mean, Odegaard is a dude with the ball. Kai Havertz supposed to be the one who can hold the ball, because you saw the substitute. Because Victor Gyökeres substitute, like Arsenal substitute, didn't help them. The bench, they're supposed to have a stronger bench than PSG, because PSG don't have a lot of great players on the bench. They didn't have a player on the bench. You saw the PSG substitute. Like in the second half, Lucas Beraldo entered for PSG. Ilian Jabarni from Bournemouth, you remember him? He's disappointing in the League One. And you have Gonzalo Ramos and of course Bradley Barcola. And Warren Emery could have started the game, but he entered in the second half. But if you look at the team, the lineup that PSG ended up with the game, it was like their B team. And Arsenal substitute were who? Eze, he missed the penalty. Sorry for him, but hey, it is what is happened. And you have Gabriel Martinelli. That dude cannot progress. In 7 years at Arsenal, he didn't do anything, right? 7 years. He played the same way. He doesn't change. And you have Timber, Julian Timber came in the second half, and Victor Gyökeres and Nuni Madueke and Martin Zubimendi. So those were the substitute for Arsenal. Had some injury, they couldn't do a substitute, because I think Henkepe was injured in the extra time, but they couldn't do a sub. The dude couldn't run. So because the tactic. But overall, Luis Enrique, you remember during a press conference in France, I think it was the game against Leverkusen or who, he said, we are the best team in Europe. Everyone said, well, especially in France, people say, why would you say that? You're not even winning games and stuff, But he said that. We know Arteta said they're going to win the league tonight, which they failed. That was just arrogance, right? That was arrogance. Because Arsenal, the first 6 months, like I said in my match preview, that game, they were playing good. But the last 6 months, they were playing haram football. That reminds me of the golden era of Atletico Madrid. Remember that era, like where when you play Atletico Madrid, you're not scoring. That's how Arsenal played the last 6 months. And they made the bad decision to let PSG play like this. I mean, the plan almost worked because they went to the penalty kick. For me, penalty is like 50-50. It can go either direction. But tonight, PSG was just the best team, and they proved it on the pitch. They proved it for everyone to see it. Luis Enrique just won PSG back-to-back Champions League. Now that makes me feel bad for Kylian Mbappe, because Kylian Mbappe left PSG to go to Real Madrid to win a Champions League, and PSG won back-to-back the 2 seasons that he left the club. Because Luis Enrique came, this is the 3rd season. He played 3 semi-final. The first time Luis Enrique did when he came, okay, Verratti, we love you, but hey, you are not the type of player I want. Neymar, yeah, you gotta go to Al Hilal. And Messi left because his contract was over. And you had Kylian Mbappe. They sold him the next year because he went for free to Real Madrid. They did everything to keep him. This is like a toxic relationship. When you really love the other one, they don't love you. They just wanna leave. That's what PSG and Mbappe was. Like PSG really wanted Mbappe to stay. Mbappe wanted to leave. He didn't care about the relation. I wanna go to Real Madrid. I wanna go win a Champions League. And now, PSG is back-to-back. They wrote the history. They are the only team with Real Madrid to win 2 Champions League in a row. Real Madrid did 3P. We don't know if PSG are going to do it next year too. But they are in the 21st century. They are the only one who did it with Real Madrid. I know before that, there was 9 teams who already achieved this milestone. But PSG is writing history. They are cementing themselves as one of the great in Europe, if they are not already, because they already catch us. We have 2 Champions League, they have 2 Champions League, but we're gonna see what's gonna happen next year, right? Overall, the best team won, and there is no argument. I don't think even Arsenal fan will come here to argue about it. If they want to, they can. They're welcome to do it, but it's not necessary, because I don't think your club did what they needed to do to win this. They refused to play football. Tonight, football won, and the world is happy, everyone is happy, and the pride of London will remain Chelsea Football Club.